Welcome, Laker parents and students, to an inspiring adventure into the future of classroom technology. Welcome to the One-to-One iPad program. Lakers is the only school district in the Upper Thumb to have such an enticing, forward-thinking program. So be proud that you're in exactly the right place at the right time. Speaking of time, let's travel back in time for a bit as we remember how far we've come in classroom technology. In the beginning, our ancestors started with a handheld gizmo that looked like this. Add some chalk and wow, you could write and erase for hours. Yee-haw! Let's fast forward a bit to these fancy gadgets.
Meet George Jetson. His boy Elroy.
Remember when DOS was boss and playing Oregon Trail? By the way, in 1984, public schools in the U.S. averaged about one computer for every 92 students. The iMac was introduced in 1998, but around the same time, less than half of U.S. public schools had internet access. Starting in the year 2000, classroom technology really started zooming forward with things like laptops, interactive whiteboards, classroom response systems or clickers, document cameras, mobile whiteboard tablets, and other gadgets. By 2002, 99% of U.S. schools had internet access. By 2008, there was one computer for every 8 students across the nation. In 2001, the iPod first arrived. 9 years later, this happened.
We call it the iPad. So, let me show it to you now. This is what it looks like. I happen to have one right here. That's what it looks like.
The world would never be the same. But then again, doesn't this look a little bit familiar? Oh yeah, things that make you go, Here's an interesting note. In 1925, Thomas Edison theorized that books will soon be obsolete in schools. Scholars will soon be instructed through the eye. Well, if soon meant about 90 years or so, Edison was right on target. How did he know this was coming? By the way, that cute little I in front of iMac, iPod, and iPad, it stands for Internet. Well, duh. For those who wonder about the importance of technology in education, a 2012 poll determined that 96% of teachers and 91% of parents think that applying technology to teaching and learning is important to the education of American students. It provides more individualized and flexible learning, helps students become more engaged in their own learning, makes closer connections between the classroom and the real world, and exposes students to experts outside the classroom and different perspectives on issues. The iPad is taking the lead in addressing these important education goals, as iPad pilot programs are rolling out in K-12 schools by the thousands across the nation, including several in Michigan. Some of these include Zeeland Schools, Croswell Lexington, Manchester, Gull Lake, and of course Lakers. The Laker one-to-one program includes the purchase of about 850 iPads, thanks to the voter-approved technology bond. In the second semester of the 2012-13 school year, several Laker teachers and their students participated in the iPad pilot program. Here are some examples of how the teachers and students used the iPads in class. Those who participated in the pilot program touched the tip of the iceberg in what can be accomplished in the classroom with iPads. So how are other schools using iPads? As we begin this exciting first year of the one-to-one iPad program, Laker teachers and administrators will be learning right along with the students about all of the educational possibilities the iPads hold. During the summer, teachers receive training from fellow teachers, and they've been teaching themselves on the various apps on their iPads. While it's easy to get caught up in the cool factor with iPads and apps, the device itself is never as important as what can be done with it. With the Laker one-to-one iPad program, it's not about what we have, but why we have it. Laker administrators and teachers are focusing on what academic achievements can be realized by putting the iPads and apps to use. So why are we using iPads? The reasons are as numerous as the apps available. Here are just some of them. During today's presentation by Principal Brian Kine and Technology Director Scott McClovick, you'll get helpful information about iPads and specifics on the Laker one-to-one program. First, for those who are unfamiliar with iPads, a short iPad tutorial.
The one that estimates the odds of making contact with extraterrestrials by calculating the product of an increasingly restrictive series of fractional values, such as those stars with planets, and those planets likely to develop life. N equals R times FP times NE times FL times FI times FC times L.
Don't worry, it won't be that difficult. For those of you who are familiar with iPads, just sit tight. This will be a little refresher course for you. Today you'll also be learning more about some of the apps that will be very important components of the Laker one-to-one iPad program, such as Edmodo, which is similar to Facebook, and iTunes U. As part of the one-to-one iPad program, students and parents have a choice of whether students will take home their iPads every day or if they would rather do a check-in, check-out procedure each day, in which the iPad would stay at the school. Those who wish to take their iPads home each day will need to pay a $30 per family service maintenance fee, which basically is a good faith investment that adds to the district's insurance policy. Families who return the iPads undamaged at the end of the school year will have the $30 returned. So, are you ready to rock with the iPads?
I'm operating low tech, but I'm in a very high-tech world swirling all around me. But I'm operating low tech. No cell phone, no computers, no rings, no watches. I'm just operating light.
Have you ever seen a macho man sitting around with a little black box?
Oh, come on now, don't be afraid-y Phil, who also must not believe in using a gadget called a razor. Let's all dig into the future of education, because the future is now at Lakers. It's going to be an epic year, and there's no stopping us.
There's no stopping us right now. And there's no stopping us right now.